Good morning, YouTube.
Good morning, YouTube.
I am taking my husband and my son to work. It's really stinking cold outside. This is the joy of Oklahoma weather.
Yeah.
It is 41 degrees. It probably feels in the 30s easily. I was very cold walking Daisy. Very, very cold. Hold on just a minute.
It is impossible to hold this thing steady.
Robert's having to hold it because I told him, I'm driving. This is my car. I'm driving because he's got Frank now. Even though Frank is sad. But I've never been on this side. This is interesting.
Yeah.
And Robert has to hold it. He just doesn't know what to think, how to handle it. So it might be a wobbly experience.
It's probably going to be a very wobbly experience. Oh my goodness. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm giving him the chance to appreciate my
Camera skills.
Thank you.
Well, so yes, if the experience is just a little off today, you know why.
I don't know why. I'm going to pull you down to this a little bit. Okay, you can hold it. So, we both had really crappy weigh-ins. I actually gained again.
I didn't even weigh.
You didn't even
I
bother.
was like, I'm having a good morning.
Let's not go there.
I'm only in a little bit of pain. I don't need the pressure.
I was in so much pain last night. And it's funny because, weather comes up and you think, okay, well, I'm in pain because of weather. But let's be honest. I'm in pain because I ate like shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now, the weather is a factor.
Sure. But not as much as the wind.
I ate like crap, so,
Now I get to suffer.
I get to suffer twice as much as the weather would normally make me. So, yeah. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, it's so much fun. I mean, what's not to love?
Yeah.
Besides everything, I mean.
And I know I gained because I was at work, and as a chef, every once in a while you just get inspired.
Yeah.
I was telling a friend last night, you look at some ingredients and you go, I can do better.
Oh my.
And so I took one of the big pounds of dough that we roll into big cinnamon rolls and slice, and I made a jelly roll. And instead of slicing it, I rolled it into a pinwheel and docked
when you
the
say
top of it.
Jelly roll, what does that mean?
That means exactly what you think it means.
What possessed you to make a jelly roll?
I made a giant donut jelly roll of a pound of friggin' high yeast sweet donut bread. Covered it in a strawberry sugar glaze. Rolled it up, baked it off, and then covered that with an artificial cream cheese icing. And everybody that tasted it cussed me and told me what a horrible and evil individual I was because I made it so good that they couldn't stop eating it, and they knew it wasn't good for them. It was just sugar and dough.
And how much of it did you eat?
Probably an equivalent of 2 or 3 donuts, jelly-filled donuts. Because that's basically what it was in a different form. So yeah, I had the equivalent of 3 or 4 donuts. And so that's why I was like, no, I'm in a lot of pain for that donut.
What possessed you to do such a crazy
And no, I don't want to weigh in. I need no more evidence of my stupidity.
Oh my gosh. I mean, like, for women at least, I understand you PMS and stuff like that, and so that's what makes you want to build horrible concoctions like that.
No, it's
reason?
my years and years as being a chef, and like I said, I looked at that piece of dough as the lady was rolling it out, and I'm going, I could make something that would be as decadent and as beautiful as an orgasm in my mouth.
Oh my.
And I successfully did so. And I kind of wanted to show off to the other employees and be like, this is the kind of stuff we could make. And, just kind of toot my own horn a little bit. Hoping to get the management to take notice. Yeah. I'd like to offer a few recipes. Like I said, it was all stuff that we had in the kitchen and that we used. and some of it we kind of need to use more of and rotate through a little bit quicker. And that's the way to do it. So
did the management taste it as well?
No, the management was smarter than I. He walked over there and he watched everybody get it, and he asked, "Is it really as good as it looks?" And I was like, "Yeah, it really is." And he's like, "Well, I don't need any of that. That's just going to be a bad thing." And so he didn't have
the only
it.
one not dieting.
Yeah.
Is the one that said, "No, I'm good."
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And everybody else said, "Fuck you, Robert. Why did you spoil my diet today?"
As they ate it.
Including Sam.
Oh, damn. Sam ate it too, huh?
Yeah. That's what he was telling Justin last night is he didn't measure anything. He just grabbed some stuff and threw it together, and it was decadent and way too good. And I ate more than I should have. And Justin was like, "Yeah, I just told him what I used." And Justin then explained to Sam how I made it. And Sam watched me make it. He was sitting there looking at Justin going, "How did you know that?" And Justin's like, "Yeah, he told me what ingredients he had. I know exactly what he wound up making." And so, yeah, it was really interesting. Because me and Justin work together that much that we can read each other. I can start a recipe, and he'll look over and see what I'm doing, and he'll start the other half of the recipe without any conversation.
Yay.
Yeah. Which means that's why we both got up to close to 300 pounds when we worked together in a restaurant. It just happens.
Yeah. And no arms even. Just no protection. How is he not freezing?
He's cold. You can see by his posture he's chilly.
But he didn't even wear a coat.
That's the thing, though. You can put up with a lot if you train yourself to.
Well, that's true.
It's a nice little Harley. Flat black. Not really much chrome on it at all. It's beautiful.
He has no coat on in 41 degree weather on a motorcycle.
He's wearing a full helmet, but no other gear.
I mean, he's not naked, but he does have a short sleeve shirt on.
Yeah, he's just wearing a uniform shirt.
Yeah.
Slacks. So yeah.
Yeah, so we went and hung out with some friends yesterday, and it had been a really long time since I had been over there. So it was interesting. I have a lot to think about because there were some reactionary things that I did that I thought I had stopped doing, and then there were some areas that I was good with, but it was weird. I kind of felt like I was falling back into some old habits that I definitely don't want to have.
Yeah, it's like when you go home and visit relatives, you find yourself tending towards your childish tendencies.
Yeah.
And assuming roles that you once had.
Yep.
And, yeah. So.
And it's definitely, I feel like I've evolved past that, and then I get put into that situation and no. No.
There's still work to do.
They're still there, and there's still work to do, exactly. And it's hard when you go into a situation and you find out that you are a very judgmental person, and you think you're so enlightened, and it's like, you're not. You just think you are.
Wow, we went all the way there, huh?
Yep, that's where I've been today. That's where my mind has been, and I'm like, and being apart from it so long made it more obvious. Instead of the normal, okay, here's the situation of where I am when I go there.
I don't think it's really bad as it used to be. It's just you're more aware of your behavior and your reactions.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And so it feels more intense because I'm like, I'm not normally like this. For whatever reason, they're close enough to our ages, and they have, kids too. And so they're somebody I always compare myself to.
Which is not really a good thing.
No. Because it ultimately ends with either you think you're better than them or you think you're worse than them. There's really the only two options if you're comparing yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so there are parts of me that are like, oh, I'm so much better than you in this. And then there's other things where I'm like, dang, you were really kicking our asses on this. Well, you know what I mean? And that is just not something that you want to have in a friendship. No. That's too much. That's too much.
Life's not a competition.
No.
It's a journey.
And with them, I jump into this competition mode, and I don't like that mode. I don't want to be in that mode. That's not something that is good for me.
Yeah.
So I think I've really been evaluating since we hung out with them, myself, where I am mentally, where I was then.
Yeah. What caused those triggers?
Yes, and realizing that the separation that we forced upon our friendship, I feel like was more my fault than anyone else's. And that's very humbling to me. Because I'm like, you know, I had this mentality that they were really awful for us as people. And ultimately, my reactions to them were the problem. And that is like, wow. Well, okay then. You know, like, that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot for me to take on. But you're not arguing with me, so you must agree. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just being honest with myself. You know, it is what it is. I am who I am. And all I can do is see the errors of my ways and try to become a better person.
Well, I'm proud of you for the self-evaluation and understanding that everybody has room for growth.
Yeah. It's not pleasant, but
it can be.
I am proud of myself for exactly what you said. You know, it's so much easier to blame other people when you have conflict or when you have negative emotions, you know, to put that off on somebody else, and ultimately my own security. Issues. Yeah, exactly. So I'm doing a lot of self-evaluation lately after that experience. And honestly, YouTube, my son that was with us when we were there, Sam, opened my eyes in ways that literally I kind of was stunned the entire trip home. Because Robert took him on the bike, but it got colder and colder and colder yesterday evening. And Sam was like, I asked Sam if he wanted to ride home with me in the car instead of on the bike, and he was like, yeah. And so I took him home, and he and I just talked on the way home. And I had made some comment, and then he just rocked my world with his response to my comment and totally changed my perspective and kept changing my perspective. And it was really funny because he was even like, I don't even know what I'm saying. You know, it was one of those like fourth dimension kind of conversation where he is speaking truth that he doesn't even know he's speaking until it comes out of his mouth, kind of a thing. Yeah. It was very profound, very next level shit kind of stuff, you know? And almost everything he said was so resonating with my spirit that I couldn't deny what he was saying. There was no way around it, you know? And so
he's a very interesting individual. He looks at the world different than most people do.
Yeah. He doesn't have the emotion response.
The only way I can really describe Sam's interaction in society is as a shaman.
Yeah.
And there's really no other word for it. He's a peacemaker.
Yeah. He's kind of a spiritual leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to raise somebody like that,
it's so amazing.
It's so humbling.
Yeah. I told him last night even, I was like, to think that you are the man that you are right now, and I changed your diapers, you were a little bitty thing, you know, and like, I'm so honored to even be in your presence, much less to be your parent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. It's hard to look at him and take any credit.
No.
Because you're like, spiritually, you're my inspiration.
Yeah. I want to be like you now.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
And he teaches me all the time. And I'm a very emotional person. And Sam has almost no emotion that control him. I'll put it that way. And so he thinks very logically, very black and white. And sometimes that's exactly what I need, because my emotions make me kind of go everywhere. And so when we have a conversation and it's actually a moment of real conversation, I definitely feel like I learned so much from him.
Yeah.
If I have a teachable spirit, you know?
And that's the thing. If you keep a teachable spirit. Your children will teach you far more than you can ever teach them.
Will. Yeah, they will.
But the fun part is that you learn as they get older that they were a witness to those lessons, and it helps them as well.
Yeah.
Watching their parents grow and change gives them
and
that
make
hope.
Mistakes and
and gives them that hope and understanding that you can always change and improve your life, even if it's not the way your parents decide to. That you have the power. And so that's something that it's fun to watch manifest, is those lessons. And they do things that I'm like, well, what made you do that? And they're like, well, remember when you were doing this and you made this decision? Well, I learned from that.
You mean mistake? When you made that mistake?
Exactly.
and you know what's great is that they have the nicest response, because they saw from a third party, standpoint, the errors in the judgments and the things like that, and so they were able to make the right decision, and it not be a big old drama fest.
Yeah, and it's really, like I said, it's really cool to see your kids leapfrog over you in spiritual development. It's really cool because it's one of those things that the competition doesn't exist there. They're your child.
Not at all.
You want them to succeed.
Hardcore.
And to see them succeed beyond what you thought that you were capable of means that they are a success.
Absolutely.
Anytime that my children can outdo me,
bring it.
Heck yeah. That means I got better chance than what I got.
Yeah, and I mean, when you think of the friends, Justin and Kara, I don't have that same mentality, but I could if I understood that, wanting other people to succeed that you love and care about is where you should be. Exactly.
We should be an encouragement to each other.
And everybody's on their own journey, and judging people just is you trying to judge them by your journeys.
Yeah.
Measuring stick.
And many times it's just a way for you to justify things.
There it is.
Things that you know better.
Yep. Justifying your own actions.
Yeah. You're like, well, I did better than they did.
Yep.
Well, yeah, but why do you need to justify your actions? What is it about your actions that you feel need to be justified?
Right.
And that just normally means that you had the wrong motivation for those actions.
True.
Even if it was the right action.
That's a lot of truth, baby. Good job.
Well, you started this.
I did, didn't I? Some painful truth.
So,
good stuff.
Anyway.
All right.
And now you guys get to see the real me.
Yep.
The emotional crybaby.
That's the one.
Yep.
He's the guy. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll check you next time. Later.